Thank you for being a friend. Travel down the road and back again. Your heart is true. You're a pal and a confidant. And if you threw a party, invited everyone you knew, you would see the biggest gift would be from me, and the card attached would say, thank you for being a friend. And if you threw a party, invited everyone you knew, you would see the biggest gift would be from me, and the card attached would say, thank you for being a friend.
Hey, look us over, lend us an ear, fresh up in clover, mortgaged up to here. But don't pass the plate, folks, don't pass the cup. I figure whenever you're down and out, the only way is up, and we'll be up like a rosebud, high on the vine. Don't thumb your nose, boy, take a tip from mine. We're a little bit short of the elbow room, so let us get us some. And look out, world, here we come. Conducting fake orchestra. Hey, look us over. Hey, looky here, folks, queer folks, here to raise some funds. Or in a pinch, we'll take $1. We'll take 1,000 if you want to give it to us and make it rain. So what do you say? We're gonna raise some money for charity today. A little bit short of the elbow room, so let us get us some. And look out, world! Hear us shout, world! Hey, look out, world! Here we come! Hello, and welcome to another episode of CT Connection. It's our 9th episode. I can't believe it, darlings. And we have many, many more coming your way. And so we are here. And before we even begin, we just want to say that we are so excited that this event is part of the numerous events that made up and makes up Pride New Haven. And so we are so excited to say that our Pride Fest for Pride New Haven, developed and produced by the New Haven Pride Center, was a huge success, along with the, I think, over 40 events that started last week. And so it's just been such a wonderful, wonderful week. And we just want to reach out and send love to the staff of the New Haven Pride Center, and of course, including their amazing executive director, Patrick Dunn, who also happens to be our amazing producer. And so we just want to reach out to Patrick and his amazing staff of amazing folks for all of the fantastic work that they are doing and have done through the pandemic, and giving us all an opportunity to celebrate our diversity, our love of community, and our pride. So we are very proud that this episode of CT Connection is part of Pride New Haven programming. And so, again, CT Connection is making community connections near and far, my darlings, highlighting our Reign 22 beneficiaries of the Imperial Sovereign Court of all Connecticut, introducing community leaders and initiatives in and around Connecticut, and celebrating our membership, and the cherry on top, raising funds for 3 amazing beneficiaries. So just again want to reach out to our amazing producer, Patrick Dunn, aka Monarch 20, Kiki Lucia, who we absolutely adore and could do nothing without, really and truly. Our Venmo and PayPal information will be streaming soon. Our Venmo is at CT Imperial Court. Our PayPal is ctimperialcourt.org/donate. This amazing episode of CT Connection, the theme, we are talking to folks in and around the transgender and non-binary community. They are leaders and advocates, and so we'll be talking to them about the fantastic work that they do on behalf of our community to save lives every single day, because they do. And we are lucky to have an amazing community. And I am lucky to bring to the stage my other half, my right hand, and hopefully I'm his right hand, Emperor 22 Vu Tran. Hi.
Hi, I'm not sure if you're my right or my left. I mean,
Yeah,
StreamYard's just
this whole
very
virtual.
kind
Yeah,
of confusing.
I don't know. I don't know
You're,
directions
you're
anymore.
one of the hands, darling. One of
You're
the
one of
hands. Well, definitely.
You're one of the hands. You're one of the hands. Here we are again, ninth episode.
Ninth episode, and come on, that Pride Fest yesterday at Pride New Haven. So many great vendors. The performances were out of this world. Zia Mari LaBeija and Sparkle Diamonds.
Oh.
Great MCs throughout the day. So much fun.
Yeah, it was amazing. And look
And
at that rainbow. That is real, folks. That is real. That appeared over Pride Fest yesterday. And so I think the universe loves what everybody was doing there, or it would not have happened that way. So, photo by Linda Crystal Young. And so, our beneficiaries for the Reign 22 of the Imperial Sovereign Court of All Connecticut are the New Haven Pride Center. If you know nothing about this amazing organization, crawl out from under the rock that you live under. It is an organization that has not taken one day off during the pandemic. Their food program has fed thousands of people. Their scholarship programs, their case management programs, finds housing and medication and food and support for all sorts of folks in and around our LGBTQ community. You name it, they do it, the New Haven Pride Center.
And the American Foundation for Suicide Prevention, an organization that saves lives every single day. They do advocacy, they do support groups, they donate money to research. They are another group that did not take a day off during the pandemic. In fact, they increased their resources because they know that a lot of folks are struggling during this time. So the American Foundation for Suicide Prevention, Connecticut chapter.
Yes, and finally, APNH, a place to nourish your health, mind, body, and spirit, an organization out of New Haven, Connecticut that was founded to support those living with HIV/AIDS and have expanded their services to other physical and emotional and spiritual health needs of folks in and around our community. So 3 amazing beneficiaries that save the lives of folks every single day.
Yep. So if you would like to donate, you can do so at any time. Once again, our Venmo is at CT Imperial Court, and our PayPal is ctimperialcourt.org/donate. And you can tip the performance that's going to be on later. But we also have a special live auction going on today.
Oh boy, do we ever!
Do you want to show? Do you want to show the patrons what they're going to be?
Yes, my Emperor. I will show the patrons that beautiful picture from our amazing producer. So this set, this amazing jewelry set, okay, ring and earrings, they break apart. They are separatable, if you will, and they are magnetic. And so there's no glue on the back of these babies. Made by the amazing Rusty Waters, my darling, of Touch of Elegance Designs. And so we are very excited. We will be auctioning this off later in the show, starting at $70. Again, all net proceeds go to our Reign beneficiaries. And so look at these. Look how they sparkle. Look how they, and look at those colors.
Bella Rose, these will look wonderful on you, our Empress.
Hello, Bella Rose. Hello.
And we just spent a wonderful weekend this past weekend at the Imperial Court of Washington, D.C.
Yes.
And congratulations to Rudy and Ginger on the completion of a great 2-year reign. And congratulations to Queen and Mad Dog on the beginning of your reign. And at the end of D.C. coronation, we said, it's not really a goodbye. I won't really call it a goodbye, but a see you soon to our amazing Imperial Crown Infante, Anna Alexander, who has relocated to Mississippi to take care of some family needs. They will be involved in virtual events. They will be back for coronation. So we just want to send them lots of love. Wish them all the best getting settled in Mississippi, of all places. Good luck, girl.
And we miss you.
Crocodiles and alligators.
That's right. But you know what? But Anna loves the country life. She loves the country life. So I think she's going to thrive there. But we love you, Anna. And I'm glad we got to spend time with you and Bonnie in DC. And so we, of course, also would be remiss to not mention our home bar, the Shea, on Wethersfield Avenue in Hartford, Connecticut. The managers and owners of the Shea, John and Louis Pepe, they create space for our community. I mean, whenever you go to the Shea, you know that you are amongst family. That is the feeling when you walk in the Shea. It is comfortable. It is beautiful. They have a full food menu. The drinks are fabulous. The entertainment is, the variety itself of entertainment is just inspiring and exciting. And any night of the week, you can go to the Shea and experience a fabulous, fabulous time, eat some good food, be entertained, and be amongst family. So thank you to the Shea. And we also just want to reach out to partners who hosted the Pride pageant. And I was lucky enough to be one of the judges, myself and Sparkle Diamond and Dolores Degage Hopkins. And it was really amazing. And congratulations to Tiana Maxim Rose, who won that. And of course, congratulations to Rory, who stepped down in that title. It's really wonderful. And it was great to be with community. And so we have to support our queer spaces and we have to support our queer bars. They are our homes. Ah, there's Tiana.
Yes, come on with a bottle of Stoli and a disco ball.
Yes. Oh yeah. She was holding that up. Anyhow, so yeah, that was super, super fun.
Yeah, and speaking of our queer spaces and our home bar, the Shayest, the next time we will be at the Shayest will be October 9th, when Baroness Lunatic and Grand Baron Liam of Troy host Nightmares and Dreamscapes, a masquerade event. So come in your masquerade mask, be ready for some spooky yuki and some dreamy reamy and all of the above. So come check us out October 9th at our home bar, the Shayest. Host Nightmares and Dreamscapes.
Oh, I don't know what just happened. Isn't that funny? So,
that was the nightmare coming in.
That was it was perfect timing. That was the nightmare coming in. Nightmares and Dreamscapes is going to be perfect and super, super fun. That's so funny. It was the voice from beyond. It was Vincent Price or something. Anyway, so we're going to continue, my good friends. And so, yes, we'll be there on the 9th. We are very lucky to have established a relationship with the Black Rock Social House restaurant and bar in Bridgeport, Connecticut. And so we are there the first Saturday of every month. And so we are super excited. We are there October 2nd, starting at 12 noon. And so we hope to see you there. Amazing food, fabulous drinks, mimosas, Bloody Marys, all the good stuff, and fabulous drag artists. So hope to see you there.
Yes. And our next CT Connection after this one is going to be on October 10th. And that one will be featuring one of our amazing beneficiaries, the American Foundation for Suicide Prevention Connecticut chapter. It'll be the weekend before their big walk on October 16th, which will be in the morning, ending at 12 noon. So if you are a morning walker and want to come out for a great walk, it's going to be on the riverfront. Team 22 does have a team walking and volunteering at that walk, so definitely check out our pages. You can go to the Gentle Dragon Emperor 22 Vu and you will see our team walk information for the ASFP walk.
It's going to be super fun. And that same day, October 16th, we have Vu and My Monarchs Ball. And so when you are a monarch in the state of Connecticut, one of your responsibilities and requirements is that you host a large major fundraiser. And so we are hosting our Monarchs Ball at Real Artways, 56 Arbor Street in Hartford, Connecticut, starting at 6 p.m. Tickets are $40. You can get tickets at www.imperialcourtct.ticketleap.com. You can also reach out to Vu or myself for additional information. This this event benefits our amazing beneficiaries. Fabulous food, amazing art, great performances from people all over the place. With some COVID restrictions, the venue requires vaccination and or testing, and masks or shields are expected.
All right. We have a great and wonderful show for you with some amazing guests, but we would be very remiss if we do not acknowledge some things that are going on during the times right now. First of all, we want to express our deepest and sincerest condolences to the Empires of Salem, Oregon, for the recent loss of their Empress Curdy St. James, along with the Sun Court in Florida for the recent loss of their reigning Empress Regine Cox. I could not even imagine going through that right now with the two of us reigning, and if something were to happen to either of us, how we would continue and how we would persevere. So our deepest condolences to both of those courts out there and their loved ones and everyone who loved these two amazing, beautiful human beings.
Yeah, couldn't have said it better, my emperor. And we are a family in the court system. We are 70 chapters strong. And I think it's important that we recognize that we have an opportunity right now as human beings to really view each other as family and treat each other accordingly. It's very important.
We also want to recognize the 20th anniversary of the September 11th attacks. It's kind of surreal that they were 20 years ago. I remember being in middle school chorus class and them making an announcement and having no idea what it meant or how it would change our lives. And
It was my freshman year of college, and we were both in our formative years, if you will, and so it is surreal and it is fascinating. I have students that were not alive for that. So it really is something. And so I think it is extremely, as my light goes off, of course, my light actually goes off in remembrance. Isn't that funny? The technology meets the moment. There we go. And so here we are, my friends. No, but I think it is very important that these moments are not just something we learn about in a history class or talk about once a year. This was major loss of our human community, and we must remember and must stay strong. And might I also say, if you were around during 9/11, then you remember how united people were as human beings on the earth and as Americans. And I think that we have something to learn from that time right now.
100%.
Yeah.
Well, and of course, we also want to do our remembrance of all those that we've lost to COVID-19. And for those out there that are able to get the vaccine.
Please.
There are many mandates going out for vaccines, and I honestly couldn't be happier about it. It does save lives. It is helping people. It is the only way that we are going to get into a normal space again.
That's right.
So please definitely do what you can. But that is our deep moments of there might be other deep moments in the show, but we definitely want to recognize the time that we are in right now. And let's move on and have an awesome show.
That's right, my wonderful Emperor. And so we have fabulous guests, as we always do, because we have a fabulous community, and we couldn't be more grateful for all of them. And so we're just going to give you a preview of who our guests are really quickly by reading their bios. Okay, here we go. So first and foremost, we have Mel Cordner. Mel uses they, them pronouns, is the founding leader of Q+, a Connecticut organization dedicated to uplifting and empowering queer youth through open mics, resource fairs, game nights, support groups, GSA support, and more. Mel has years of experience running programs and events for youth and facilitating trainings for adults and youth alike on topics like gender, sexuality, neurodiversity, consent, college activism, and youth culture and leadership development. They received the CCSU Founders Award in 2011, the CCSU Rainbow Award in 2018, and the New Haven Pride Center Rising Star Award. I was there. I saw it. It was wonderful, wonderful time to celebrate in 2019. They are an educator, advocate, writer, and all-around loudmouth genderqueer. I love it. I want to repeat that. Loudmouth genderqueer. I love that. We cannot be silent, whose mission is to shake things up and leave a place more colorful than they found it. That is Mel Cordner.
And they certainly do. And we also have Natasha Rose Lombardi, who has been involved in the LGBTQ plus community since 1988, when she began volunteering at Project 100 and the Hartford Gay and Lesbian Community Center, back when we had a community center.
Right.
Natasha Rose graduated from the University of St. Joseph and earned her MSW from Fordham. A member of the NASW, she is currently the president of the Connecticut Trans Advocacy Coalition. She is also the vice chair of the City of Hartford's Commission on LGBTQ plus issues. She is outreach and educational chairperson for the Society, a local pansexual BDSM community center, and she is a mistress to her husband and slave of 7.5 years, Elijah.
Yay! Yay! Our wonderful segment host, Kyle Edwards, has a wonderful guest, Mia Lozada, who was a former LGBTQ commissioner for the city of Hartford. She was a candidate for state representative in 2020. She currently works for the Harriet Beecher Stowe Center and Museum as an associate and front of house supervisor at Real Artways. That's where our Monarchs Ball is going to be on the 16th. Mm-hmm. So everybody should come and support Mia and support the court and the community. Giving back to the community in the arts and history. That is Mia Lozada.
So important. And our performer spotlight, she just stepped down as Mixed Pride New Haven last night. Was it 2 nights ago? 2 nights ago.
2 nights ago, yes.
All of a blur.
It all goes together.
Roy Roulet, they use she, they pronouns, is a Connecticut-based trans drag artist who actively performs throughout the state. She loves doing a variety of
and dreamscapes,
drag,
a masquerade.
comedic, dance, political, and alternative numbers. And I've seen every type of number that Rory does, and they literally are all amazing. In addition to performing, Rory also sews costumes, makes posters, and edits videos. So multi-talented, that one.
Multi-talented. And might I just say, Rory made 2 of the gowns worn by 2 of the candidates for the competition on Friday night. And let me tell you, I mean, the talent is just coming out of everywhere. And please forgive technical difficulties. They keep popping up today. I don't know why. I think the community is tired because we all celebrated really hard for Pride, but we're still here, baby. But that is Rory, and we're so grateful to have her.
Just want to give a few shout outs to the amazing people that we have tuning in. I mean, I see Crystal Carter, the new Grand Duchess of the Waterfall Empire. Congratulations, Crystal. Ginger Sparkles is watching, having just stepped down in DC. We love you, our sister. BB Galini, I mean, Miss JS legend for life. Always looking gorgeous, always good seeing you.
Love you, BB.
Steven, one of our great members. The Venmo is at CT Imperial Court. If you want to go to PayPal and donate, you can go to ctimperialcourt.org/donate, and our PayPal link will be on there.
And I think it's so fabulous that this sort of virtual format we're continuing with, hopefully as the pandemic starts to slow down, and I hope it does start to slow down, we can reach our community in a different way and really can do it on a Sunday. And we are super grateful for anything that you are able to donate. And if you don't have funds available right now, we're just super happy that you're here with us celebrating our amazing community members. And so are you ready for, I'm very excited about this. Are you ready for To Quote a Queer?
Yes, I haven't done one of these in a long time.
I'm very excited. Yes, so To Quote a Queer, fabulous, fabulous text, a compendium of wit, wisdom, and devastating remarks, darlings. Yes. Vu, why don't you go first, darling?
Okay, so mine is on LGBTQ plus Pride by Quentin Crisp, a British writer and personality. I don't think you can really be proud of being gay because it isn't something you've done. You can only be proud of not being ashamed.
I love that. Oh my God, that's fabulous. Okay, and mine is also on LGBTQ plus Pride from a person named Frank Kemeny, an American gay rights activist. He says, in July 1968, I coined the slogan, "Gay is good," which is the one thing, if nothing else, that I want to be remembered for. I think it's important that we all, this is not the quote, and I think it's important that we all think about our legacy in the community and how we will be remembered, because that really sort of is kind of eternal life, right? If you think about it. So that is To Quote a Queer, everybody.
I love it.
Oh.
Gay is good. Queer is quintessential. Trans is triumphant. All the hashtags.
Love that. I love that. I love that. Trans is triumphant. All right, so we're going to bring our first guest to the virtual stage. We just read their bio, and I just have to say, we're so grateful. And one thing that was not included in this bio, very lengthy bio and very varied bio, this person is a support for the entire drag community of Connecticut and beyond. We've seen it a million times. And so please welcome to the virtual stage, Mel Cordner. Hi.
Hey.
Hi, friend.
Hello, how are you?
How you doing?
I'm good.
You're so rainbow roomed. I love it. I love the art.
We're trying.
Yes.
This is the Zoom room. This is where the youth groups happen.
Nice. Love it. I love the painting.
That's from one of our summer camp sessions a few years ago.
I love it.
We can do this.
Was it a collective or was it an individual did that piece?
Both. So Al Stone, who does tattooing at Staghorn Studio, was like our artist of the summer and helped us put it together. And then everybody put a different piece in there and like helped color it and stuff like that. So
I love it.
I love a good dragon.
Right? I thought
Right?
you did that.
That's right. So thank you so much for being here, my friend. It's so good to see. I saw you yesterday at Pride behind the Q Plus tent. And there were lots of people walking by and getting information, and we're so excited to have seen that. And so, for anyone that is an advocate, but particularly for youth, right? I think one has to ask the question, what led you to a point where you knew that being an advocate for youth and helping them find their voice and helping them understand the world around them, what was the moment? What led you to seeking that work?
I don't know that there was a moment. It's, you grow up as a queer teen, and in my case, in a very rural town, being like the only one, which I wasn't, but like the only out one, yeah. And like, it's not a moment so much as just like a constant feeling of like, this doesn't have to keep happening.
Yeah.
Like this was enough, and no one behind me has to do this. So it started in high school, like creating the GSA, pushing things forward, like pushing the like policies and stuff to be a bit better. And then college is the same. And then after college, it's like, all right, how can I do this on a bigger scale? Because this has to be happening everywhere. What can we do? So it kind of just keeps going. I feel like that's how a lot of us start, honestly. Like we feel this and we're like, all right, we can fix this a little bit though. Like, let's work on that. So.
But that requires a selflessness, right? And understanding that one of the reasons you're on the earth is to do this work. Mm-hmm. Right. And as you said, not just to, to say, I don't want anyone else in my presence to ever have to go through what I went through, but it's also about legacy. I mean, think of all the young people that you have cared for and loved and supported and mentored. They'll remember you forever. You will be in their heart. In everything that they do, they'll take you with them. And so thank you, my friend. And we're very honored that you're here. Yeah.
For me, it's kind of similar, but with a twist on how I got involved with LGBTQ work. I think for me, it wasn't so much so that I don't want other people to go through the things that I did. For me, it was not knowing what I was going through and wishing that I was more educated, and wishing more that there were things that there was someone that told me what I needed to know beforehand. So I think that you are doing that work, Mel, and we thank you for it. So pretend that I am a patron coming up to your table for Q Plus at New Haven Pride, and give me a little bit of sell on what y'all do, what services you provide, who you are.
Okay, cool. I've got this speech memorized after yesterday. So ready. All right. So we do queer youth programming around the state. Right now, because of COVID, that kind of means Zoom primarily. We have game nights on Tuesdays. We have support group on, nope, I already messed it up. Support groups on Tuesday, game nights on Thursday, and discussion night is on Friday. Support group is just whatever topics come up when we do our like icebreaker check-in. The game nights and the discussion groups follow a rotating schedule, which you can find on our website, on our Instagram, all the places. We just started a newsletter. Join that, just saying. And then we do some in-person stuff. Right now, we're focused on outdoor events so people can space out a bit better. Our next one, so shameless plug for this, October 24th, we will be at Crystal Lake Park in Middletown. We're having an outdoor Halloween party / open mic. We're doing that along with Middletown Pride, Russell Library, and Oddfellows Playhouse in Middletown. So it's going to be a big community event. So I'm super excited for that.
Love that. I love that. Isn't it? The pandemic has been a nightmare. There's no question about it. But it has led us to realizing, what our next iteration is going to be as a people, right? And how we can produce events that have great meaning and worth. And I'm going to come to that. That sounds like a lot of fun.
Please do. It's going to be great.
Yeah, I'm excited about it. So you've promoted active and open conversations about neurodiversity and consent in youth culture. Why do you think these issues are often left out of the broader conversation around advocacy and support for queer folks?
I don't know. It could go a few different directions.
Right? I know.
We're hitting you with the deep stuff so early in the episode.
That's right.
Last night was Pride. I woke up like an hour ago. It's fine. I don't know. Like, it's strange to me because we talk about consent and we talk about neurodiversity all the time, but we don't use those words. And that's interesting to me. Like especially after COVID, consent, like the "can I hug you? Are you touching people?" is just that's just part of it now. That's just part of the social interaction now. But we still don't necessarily frame it as consent and use those words. Neurodiversity, we talk about, we'll be like, what's your communication style? What's your leadership style? Do you do better with like a text or an email or a phone call? We'll ask questions like that, but we never use the language of like neurodiversity and like, you are a different neurotype than me, or your brain does work differently than me, and I'm going to acknowledge that instead of make fun of you for it. But then if you bring the words in, people get all like squirmy about it and don't want to talk about it. So I think that's interesting.
It is.
I think like I work a lot with youth. I think there's a generational difference. Like young people like to name things and like to use the right words. And we see that a lot with like, we're always coming up with new labels for orientation, and people like, some people have some feelings about that. And I'm like, yeah, good. They want to name themselves. Like, good. Like that's a thing they like to do. And like,
it's their right. It's their right.
It's their right. And it gives them a way to communicate more effectively. Like, how is that ever bad?
Exactly. Yeah.
So I don't know. It's a value shift. And I think it's the concepts we kind of do support, but in kind of like a quiet way. So I think that's interesting.
Yeah. And I would say that COVID definitely does allow for a paradigm shift. And with all the things that COVID brought, it brought us the ability to look at things in different ways, to readdress the issues of consent, to readdress the issues of communication style. I mean, I work in a completely telework environment now, where I used to be in an office 5 days a week. And now I have to figure out how my staff wants to be spoken to. And I was very shocked that I didn't know. Until I got into this environment, how I would speak to them in this environment and what best ways they would communicate outside of an office.
Right. And I'm in higher ed, and it's the same problem. We were remote forever, and now we're back in person. And, folks aren't even looking each other in the eye anymore. I mean, it's just everyone's sort of looking like this. And so that information you really have to dig to find, and so I'm just grateful that you included that in your bio, because I think there's something to be said for using the language that people identify, to your point, for the thing or the marker that they sort of base themselves or part of themselves in or on,
I mean, especially those like when I was growing up, we didn't have language for that. I didn't have any words for the ways I was different, either like orientation or neurodiversity. So I also think it's hugely important to name and label and talk about both those things, because we can save somebody years of like suffering and confusion if we name these things and kind of normalize talking about them.
That's right.
Yeah, okay, not everyone is XYZ, but there's a word for what you're experiencing, and other people experience it too. Like, you don't have to stay silent about it. You don't have to like struggle quietly. There are ways to connect with people that will work better for you,
Yeah.
Yep. And acknowledging neurodiversities and acknowledging identities is a sign of respect, folks. Remember that. If nothing else, it's a sign of respect for your fellow human being. So thank you once again, Mel, for joining us. So folks do want to support the amazing things that you are doing with Q+. How might they do that?
There's a lot of ways. Always, you can come to open mics, which are just like tons of fun. Those are open to all audience members. If you want to do some volunteering with us, we're always looking for guest speakers. We have at least 2 a month, sometimes more. We are in the process of setting up a few in-person groups around the state. We were going to launch them in September, and then like a lot of Delta things started happening, so we kind of paused that. But we are looking at launching up to 6 of them within the next few months, depending on how things go. Wow. So we are looking for eventually like group facilitators, volunteers who even just want to come help support. Any connections you have with venues, even if it's just like a one-time, we'll do one open mic a year there. Like, we're always looking to build more community connections. One of the things we really want to do is bring resources into a community, but rely on like people who are already there. So instead of me showing up to some town I've never lived in and being like, here's what your kids need, go in, talk to the young people there, and then talk to the people around them who want to help. Because we have the resources to connect all of the above together to keep something, like get something started and keep it supported long term. So even if you're like, oh, I'm in like a little town and like nobody wants to do anything here, I promise you somebody does. And we can potentially be a link to help you get that off the ground. So
amazing.
I love that. And thank you for what you're doing, because I think, you're so right. And I work in higher ed. I mean, and your experience as well in higher ed, that even every department has its own culture at a college, right? I mean, every dorm has its own culture. And so there's something to be said for asking folks what they need before you give it to them.
My whole entire thing, like every training I do, I'm like, so what you need to do is ask the people that you're working with, and they're like, oh, you do that?
What a concept.
Wild.
Mel, thank you for being with us. Stick around later for a little game.
Okay, thank you.
All right, my friend. Thank you so much. Mwah.
Thank you.
Oh, when I think of someone who has really devoted their existence to making life easier for folks in and around our community, it's Mel.
Yeah, 100%.
It's Mel. No question. So we're going to move on to our next guest, my lovely Emperor. I'm very excited. Go ahead.
Yep. So our next guest, we read her bio earlier, but I have the distinct honor of serving on the CTAC board with her. She is the president of the Connecticut Trans Advocacy Coalition, but she also has a huge wealth of knowledge doing LGBTQ plus community work since 1988 with Project 100 and the Hartford Gay and Lesbian Community Center. Does work with the society, is on the Hartford's Commission for LGBTQ plus issues, and of course, in her personal life is the mistress and husband to her slave of 7.5 years, Elijah. So bring on Natasha Rose Lombardi.
Hi, everybody.
Hi.
It's so good to be here.
Oh my God.
We're so glad to have you.
What?
Oh my God, that was in perfect unison, Frank.
It was in perfect unison. See, by now, we're about 6+ months into our reign, and so we're just sort of, we're kind of working that way.
In our
It's a dragon, Vu. It's a dragon.
Oh my God. Okay. I'm just putting out to a future guest that has yet to come onto our screen. I expect to be greeted with some type of dragon. Cough, cough. Roy Roulette. Cough, cough.
Tasha, see what you started. No,
Yep.
but thank you so very much for being with us, my dear friend. And
It's an honor.
And I consider you to be family. It was so great to see you yesterday at Pride.
It was great to see you also. It was a great day yesterday.
It was
Such
wonderful.
an amazing day. So once again, I have the honor of working on you on the CTAC board. So I already know the answer to this next question, but could you tell our audience a little bit about CTAC and its mission and what we do?
No problem whatsoever. CTAC is a basic mission statement. We're just trying to make Connecticut a safe and tolerant place for the trans community and gender nonconforming. We work with other organizations to accomplish this. We need to be safe. We need to be able to come out and be ourselves and not have to hide in the closet like I did for so many years. And we've working with our organizations, we've actually accomplished a lot in this realm. We've worked to merge with an organization for the state that creates a movable senior citizen center to provide safe spaces for the aging LGBT community. And they hold different senior community centers all over the state every couple of months, and they're amazing. We've also worked to change laws like the gender marker on your birth certificate. Some states, it's torturous to change your gender marker. Like for my husband to change his, he has to divorce me, change his name back to his birth name, change his name to his new name, and then we can get remarried.
That's ridiculous. That's just ridiculous. Yeah.
So that's one of the things we worked on in Connecticut to save that. And we also work with the Safe School Coalition to write the guidelines for school on gender identity and gender nonconforming students. So we have accomplished a lot, and I'm very proud. But I don't think we would be where we are if it wasn't for our founder, Jerry Marie Lusingang, who we lost this past year. And she's being inducted into the Connecticut Women's Hall of Fame this month. And it's well deserved.
I should say so. Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow. Oh my gosh. We say this a lot on CT Connection, but we're so blessed by the universe to have such a wonderful community. And there's just endless lists of folks to bring on CT Connection like Tasha and Mel. And so we're so grateful you're here. So you and your husband and slave are members of the Imperial Sovereign Court of Law, Connecticut. We are very, very happy to have you. And you are in the process, I know,
Yes.
of rejoining, and so we're very excited to have you back. And from your bio, you both are involved in so much community work and advocacy. And so, for folks out there, why is it important for folks to take an active role in their community, as opposed to, a passive one?
In order to make changes happen, you've got to be very, very active. You've got to get out there. And that's one of the things Jerry Marie first taught me. You can't just sit on your laurels. Don't just work with your community. Work with other communities. Get involved with Black Lives Matter. Get involved with women's rights. Get involved with all organizations, not just your own. And work hard. Don't just sit there and say, oh, well, the court's doing this, but I don't need to do that. Or this person is doing that. We don't need to do it. Get out there and get involved. And that's how I got involved in it. But just by volunteering at the community center many years ago. And I have not stopped and not looked back. Don't just sit.
I think, great answer. And I think that there's something to be said for putting yourself out there, because then you are visible. And when you are visible, someone else who's struggling with visibility sees you and says, oh, they're like me, right? Or I saw that person in the grocery store, or I saw that person on the bus, or they go to my church, or, we go to the same school. And if they're doing it, well, why can't I? Right.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a big thing. And so it brings me to my next question, my wonderful friend. So visibility is core to combating ignorance. We know that to be true. As a visible and unapologetic person, what advice do you have for folks in our community who are afraid to be visible in a world that is a scary place for folks in our community?
Right now, with all the deplorables, it is very scary out there. And sometimes it's hard to come out. It took me almost 8 years after I transitioned before I came out to most of my family. I came out to my sister first. I came out to the whole family, kind of under baptism of fire, because it was my sister's funeral. So that's when everybody got to know the real Natasha. But it was a beautiful event because everybody accepted me. Yeah. If you're afraid, take one step at a time. If you need to go back a little while, but keep making steps forward. To be visible is to make your community known and to make everybody know, hey, I'm not alone. Hey, we can all work together to make this a better place for all of us. And working with people like you and with Mel, it's an amazing job out there to get this done. Just be who you are and don't be afraid.
Yeah. And I love that. And I know that for me, it's always important to respect people's journeys and that we are all on a different journey. And just because you see Tasha on the screen and you see Frank on the screen, you see myself on the screen, just because you're not on the screen does not make your journey any less valuable or authentic to who you are.
Exactly.
I remember when I was at UConn, National Coming Out Day was the huge thing on campus, and that and the Day of Silence were our two huge activism days to be out and be seen. And I always wanted folks to know, like, if you're not ready to come out at this current point in time, that is okay. That does not make your truth any less valuable and authentic to who you are. So if you are struggling with it, if you're not ready, as Tasha said, one step at a time, and you will get where you need to go and where you're meant to go.
Exactly. Trans Day of Remembrance is a very, very important day to me because of who it was started for, and that's Rita Hester. A lot of people don't know, but Rita Hester was from Hartford, Connecticut. Yeah. And she was my very dear friend. We were in the Rocky Horror Show together in Manchester at the UA Theaters. And I loved her to death. And she was the type of person who would give you the shirt right off your back if you needed it. And she is missed. And it's a shame they never solved her murder to this day.
Well, as you were speaking about her, there are so many that remain unnamed, right? And there are so many that that some folks feel are not valuable enough to be named. And thus one of the reasons why we do CT Connection, because it's an opportunity for us in the Imperial Sovereign Court of all Connecticut to highlight folks like Tasha and Mel and others who are doing this work to ensure that people are named, that people are remembered,
exactly.
that people are respected, that people are defended, that there are resources for them in every city, town, and municipality in the state.
Oh, yes.
And so this is why we're here. And so, you know, every time I see you, you bring, I could cry, you bring so much love, inclusion, positivity, and strength with you. And the hugs you give, I can't tell you, I just adore you. And I'm so grateful that, you know, you do what you do for folks in our community here now. We are everywhere. We are everywhere. We are in every business. We are in every neighborhood. We are in every belief system and culture. And we are unafraid because you are there.
Thank you very much. That means so much coming from both of you.
So we love you so much.
Yes, I definitely echo the sentiments. It's been our extreme pleasure to have you as a guest today. So if folks want to learn more about and support CTAC, how can they do that?
Our website, www.transadvocacy.org, or our Facebook page. We have a group and a page, and they're both Connecticut Trans Advocacy. All our events, all our workshops, which we're going to start doing monthly again, starting in October, as a pre-op to our conference, which is actually going to be live next year, God willing. It'll be April 30th of 2022 at Yukon Health Center. And we're looking for our keynote speaker now, but just reach out to us. And we can always use volunteers. We can always use more board members, especially the day of the conference. We need a lot of help backstage, getting everything prepped, get everything set up and served.
Yeah.
So
well,
please reach out to me on my Facebook page.
Yes, indeed we will. And I'm sure we'll be there. We won't be Emperor and Empress anymore, but we will be there and we'll be in great support. And so we love and appreciate you. Will you stick around for a game a little later, my darling?
Yes, I will. Love to.
Good. Yeah. Love you, Tasha. Oh, it's so true. Every time you see Tasha, Tasha is just full of joy and gratefulness for life, and just spreads goodness and love. And so, right back at you, my friend. Oh, well, I just needed a moment.
That was a beautiful moment, and I'm glad you said it because I feel the exact same way. The hugs are amazing, and I've had the honor of working with Tasha in a closer setting, having joined the CTAC board a couple years ago. And every interaction, the amount of knowledge she brings, the amount of experience that she brings, it's all phenomenal. 100%.
Oh yeah, no doubt.
If you enjoyed that interview, this is a fundraiser for charity. You can donate to us. Our Venmo is at CT Imperial Court. Our PayPal, you can go to ctimperialcourt.org/donate. All of the funds go to support our amazing RAIN beneficiaries this year. So definitely give and give often. Quick shout out to some folks watching. Ray, thank you for all the comments.
Hi, cousin.
Hey, cousin Ray. My actual cousin is watching. I think this might be her first time watching CT Connection.
Oh,
Vicky King. Hi, thank you for taking a break from your Peloton. She just got a new Peloton bike. I've been giving her some pointers. So thank you for taking a break and watching with us today.
Oh, and let me just tell you, Vicky, if you're gonna get pointers from anyone, it's from Boutran for the Peloton. Okay, let me tell you, Vicky, you're in good hands.
I need to get back on it to get ready for our Monarchs ball. I need to start pedaling again.
You know, I have to say, I have learned a long time ago, I'm a walker. I'm
Yeah.
not a rider, I'm a walker.
I will walk with you coming up. I am a fall walker. I love a good fall walk. Yes.
Okay, good to know.
The weather has to be optimal for me to go walking, but I will.
Good to know. Vu only walks in the fall. That's all. He has carried the other 3 months of the year.
Yes. I have like one of those like cherub carriers.
Yes, exactly. So, so we are going to introduce one of our segments for CT Connection, Kyle's Community Corner. Kyle's guest today is the one and only Mia Lozada. Mia was not able to be with us today in person, and so Kyle and Mia pre-recorded their fabulous interview. But just to give a more clear introduction of Mia, again, Mia Lozada was a former LGBTQ commissioner for the city of Hartford. She was also a candidate for state representative in 2020. She currently works at the Harriet Beecher Stowe Center and Museum as an associate and front of house supervisor at Real Artways, giving back to the community in the arts and history. Kyle's Community Corner with his guest, Mia Lozada.
Absolute pleasure to introduce you to Miss Mia Lozada. Welcome, Mia. How are you doing today?
Hi, thank you so much for having me. I'm doing well. How are you?
I'm doing wonderful as well. Thank you for joining me on a late evening.
Yeah, of course. Anytime. Anytime.
All right, let's chat. So tell me a little bit about your motivations. Give me a little bit about your background in advocacy.
Yeah, so it all goes back to 2015 when I actually started to take my life seriously. And what I mean by that, just living my authentic life. I grew up in a very strict Catholic Puerto Rican family. So that kind of gives you a lot right there. So, you know, I've been on and off being raised by my parents and my grandparents, but mostly with my grandparents. Just because my mother and stepfather actually decided to, hustle in order to provide for me and my baby sister until they both got arrested and incarcerated, which at a very young age, I didn't understand what was going on until now. As an adult, I was like, oh, that makes sense. But leading into my childhood, into my adulthood, especially my grandparents raising me, my grandmother has had this very specific machismo view of what a Puerto Rican boy should live their life. That either if it's meant to marry a woman, have kids, and provide for their family. And as I was growing up and hearing this from my grandma, I was nodding and I was like, yeah, abuela, yeah. Not really understanding what she's actually trying to tell me. But, as older that I'm getting, I'm like, wait, so I'm supposed to represent the family as the man of the house when really that wasn't me. I've always, was attracted to feminine things, and then also being attracted to boys at an early age, and then knowing that I identify as a girl at a very, very young age, which was 5 years old. So going to, now in 2015, basically, I decided to really give my grandma the news that she wasn't hoping to hear, but it was really important for me in order to live my true life without carrying that guilt. And I told my grandma, hey, I understand that you had a very specific view of how I should live my life, but I already scheduled the appointment to see the doctor, which, was very scary to tell her. But I said, I already scheduled to see the hormone doctor, the HRT stuff that's going to change my life in order to live my life as Mia Lozada. And so I was kind of like preparing to pack my things and like end up sleeping at a park or finding, somewhere to crash. And she looks at me and she goes, you know what? I knew that this day was going to come. So I love you and just be careful. And what she means by be careful is because my family in general was very on the fence of, getting, the medication in order to live my life as a woman, because they heard that some of the side effects might have killed some other trans women that they heard, things that really changes, their body. But really, I told them, like, that's why they're doctors. And this is why they're they go to school and they're hired to do these things to change people's lives, because they obviously went to school for it. And so I told my grandma, you have nothing to worry about. I just need your love and your support. And yeah, I mean, going from 2015 to now, my motivations is representing the transgender community, educating people, like, coming from an old-fashioned, grandparents that didn't understand what trans meant or looks like, that is super important to educate them. So that if they see a trans person, not to quick off to make fun of them or to feel, bothered or, making fun of them. Is just right. Remember, your granddaughter is trans as well. So put yourself in that position. Do you, want to move forward to support your granddaughter versus the community? And so that's where my motivation started. It all started when I had that conversation with my grandma.
That's great. It's good to be a motivator and a teacher at home for people who are not too aware of the actual community and the struggles that people go through to truly be who they are. So that's absolutely beautiful. I have a similar experience with my grandmother, kind of coming out to her in a sense. So props to you. Absolutely. That's so beautiful. It made me tear. So
Well,
thank you. Of course. So you were a former LGBTQ commissioner for the city of Hartford. Tell me a little bit about that. What did you advocate for, and what were your goals and accomplishments in this role?
Yeah, so I never thought that my interest in politics would come at any age, but really at the age of 23, I believe 24, because back in high school, obviously we learn about civics and doing I forgot the assignments. Every Friday we would find an article and share it with the class and what we thought about it. And so I really didn't take it seriously because I was just like, the government don't care about us. They're just trying to erase our history. And they're the government isn't so perfect. They have their flaws, but as I'm experiencing I would say some ignorance when I first started transitioning, I was like, you know what? Going back to what you said, motivation. I was going to take these platforms from personal experience to bringing it on a platform where I can really let the community know and in general, the whole wide world, that this is not how you treat people, not just the trans part, but people in general. We're all humans, right? And so that's where I met David Grant. To this day, I hope he's doing well, and shout out to him if he ever watches this. He came up to me, he said, Mia, are you interested to become a commissioner? And I said, a commissioner? I thought, because these things, I'm like, I thought you have to have years of experience, right, to be in this position. And so I even thought you have to have a diploma. Mm-hmm. And, I was still working on going to school, on and off, trying to, motivate to go back to college. But right now, why not just go around the community and give back in the best way that I can? So David was like, do you want to apply for this position? I said, sign me up. Absolutely. And when I say that, I was interested right off the bat, is because I wanted to give back to my community here in the city of Hartford. Born and raised in the city of Hartford for 27 years, I think it's my responsibility to give back and to really inspire the future generation, because right now, as I'm talking to you and whoever views this beautiful live session, I could be saving a life. Either if it's someone who's gay, bisexual, lesbian, whatever they identify, I could be saving a life. That they could be in the position that I was in 5 years ago. And who knows that they can feel inspired to live their life unapologetically. Mm-hmm. And so when I went forward with the commission, I went through interviews with the councilmen, John Gale and Jimmy Sanchez. And I told them, listen, this is my responsibility. And so I need to be on this commission. And that's where I got the green light and went forward.
Gotcha. That's absolutely amazing. What an opportunity to come right to you. That's great. Of course. So you also did a major thing. Hats off to you. You were a candidate for the State House of Representatives in 2020. Not only are you a Latinx woman of color, which is severely underrepresented in our state government, you're also a trans woman of color. You kind of explained your platform to me, kind of your goals and motivation. But what advice could you give others who are interested in getting into public service? What are some hurdles that you experienced that you want to give kind of a heads up to other people that they can overcome?
Well, one is just be yourself and don't ask questions, just do it. Unless if you have to, if you want to run a campaign, definitely surround yourself with people who support you and they do believe in your message. And so when I ran for state representative, I never thought I would have been in the position where I was challenging the incumbent who's been the state rep for almost 25 years. I mean, a long time. She was elected to the office in 1996 and she's still in office to this day.
Time to go.
yeah, like it's
Yeah.
just it's ridiculous, you know. And I believe there should be, you know, term limits, but again, if the community is so used to having a leader, then props to them, but again, they need to vote for people who can do the job. So the only advice I can give to people is just do it. Do the damn thing. Don't be scared. Obviously, it's scary because you're putting your life and your business out on the line. They're
You're
gonna
on blast. Right.
I was scared that there was gonna find some like hidden treasures back in the polo days when I did my drag moments, you know, my little, you know, nasty stuff. But no, but you
Good
know,
times.
right? I miss those days. And also just enjoy it. Enjoy, listen to the constituents, listen to their needs, ask questions, and be yourself 100%. And when I ran for office, I knew that my community and my district needed the help, and that's why I was inspired to run. But also, I wanted to see more LGBTQ people in office because you don't see a lot of trans people. You don't see a lot of, you know, openly. I mean, there has been openly gay men and women, but it's just not many of them.
Prevalent. Right. Exactly.
So, and I really want us to take over. But again, everyone's very, you know, some can be conservative and some may have thoughts. But again, in order to, you know, get the work done, just go for it and do it. I mean, I don't want to compare myself to AOC, but her energy, I can relate 100%.
Absolutely. She has some great energy, let me tell you.
Yes.
So to take another line, what are some ways we as a society can be better allies and advocates for our wonderful trans community members? What can we do to create a more unified front to support our loved ones of the trans community?
So the most important thing is loving and supporting your friends, or either if it's your baby who's going through a journey, sit down with them, have a heart-to-heart conversation versus having an argument, because the more you argue, the more ignorance might come out and you're never going to understand. And the only advice I would just say is be true to both of you. Like if you're the parent, be true to yourself as well with the person who's going through a journey. It is not going to be easy at first. However, if you allow yourself to be in this, or if you allow yourself to create a safe environment, a safe space, to let that other person come out, or to allow them to express themselves, that right there is the most powerful moment that they can have, is just listening to each other. So listen to each other, support, and the most important is love. And that's about it. And I know that society is getting there, but there's a lot of more work that we can do in order to be in a very neutral place.
If you had a magic wand, it could change one law, one challenge, or one mindset, what would it be?
So many, but I would say don't take yourself too seriously. Mm-hmm. Listen to your heart. And again, it's just love yourself. I mean, but really don't take yourself too seriously, because you live life once. And yes, you may go through like your, you know, serious moments and not serious moments, but really be yourself. I mean, I told myself, if I do not go through this transition, and I transition at an older age or anywhere towards the end of my life, I would have lived my whole life in a regretful moment. And the most important thing is just listen to yourself, your heart, your soul, your body, your mind, everything.
I just, what can we say? What can we say?
I mean, when someone speaks their truth to who they are, what is there more to say?
Exactly. Thank you, Mia Lozada, for being on our show, and thank you, Kyle, for pre-recording the interview to to meet the needs of our guests. We want our guests to be comfortable, and we recognize that everyone's schedules are different. But thank you, Kyle, for your wonderful segment as always. And thank you, Mia, for all of the work that you do and have done, do, and will continue to do on behalf of our community. We are better because of you. So we just want to remind everybody that this is a fundraiser. And so, I'm so excited. So Mia we'll see Mia very, very soon. So we want to remind people this is a fundraiser. And so our Venmo information and our PayPal information is streaming. Venmo is at CT Imperial Court, and PayPal ctimperialcourt.org/donate. All net proceeds will benefit our 3 amazing beneficiaries this year for this rain. And look at that. Gorgeous, gorgeous. Is that jade, Vu?
Jade.
Jade.
Yes. Yes.
Really
I brought a dragon with me.
Shade. Is that shade? Is that shade?
I thought you were talking about one of the drag queens, Jade, and I was like, is she watching right now?
Oh no. No. But is that jade? Is it jade?
It's not real jade. If it were, then I would definitely not be able to have it in my house. But no, this is a jade, a faux jade dragon that my sister gave to me.
Beautiful.
To decorate my office. So when we left the offices, I took it back home, and now it sits on my desk here.
Well, good. Well, you are the Dragon Emperor.
Yeah. So since everyone else was bringing dragons, I thought I would bring one because I already told our next guest that they needed to have one. So I thought I would have them.
That's right. That's right. And this is what I'll say. Vu is definitely the Dragon Emperor. And although it's not in my title, I'll take Ruby Slippers any day.
Yeah.
So we want to welcome to the stage for a very brief conversation prior to their performance, a performer who inspires everybody that sees them, a performer that is humble, talented in a million different ways. Rory Rolay, hi!
Hi, everyone. I did find a dragon. I don't know if you know this, Vu, but I have like a huge dragon piece on my thigh that I'm working on.
Oh my God, I did not.
See it.
Oh my goodness.
Can you see it?
Wow.
Yeah, it's still a work in progress right now. But
I love it.
yeah.
I love it.
So
but in the end, you were like,
assignment.
oh my God, I have it on me.
Yeah. Have it with me at all times.
Yeah, welcome, my friend. I'm so glad to see you. I know we saw each other yesterday, but so happy to see you. And congratulations on your step down. Your performance was, as usual, just top notch, exciting. The whole room is with you when you perform. I've told you in the past, you did a performance at the Dorothy Awards a few years ago. It was really life-changing. You're a very talented person. Yeah.
Thank you so much. That means a lot.
Yeah. Do you have a favorite style of performance that you do? I know you do anything and everything, but do you have like a favorite style?
Honestly, it changes depending on like how I'm feeling that day. I keep going back and forth between like, oh, I really love like serious thought-provoking numbers, and then like, oh no, but I really like comedy right now, and now I just want to do a really dancey number. So like it really just like depends like on the day and how I'm feeling.
But that's the way it should be. Do you know what I mean? It's expression. I mean, whatever you feel needs to be reflected in the moment, right? And so
Sure.
we're so glad that you're here. And you are all in for a treat because we have a video performance crafted by this amazingly talented human being that we're going to share with you in a moment. And so, Rory, do you want to share with our viewers where they can see you perform next?
I am usually at the Shea S in Hartford on Thursdays and sometimes weekends. I'll be there this Thursday for Shea Legends, which is a competition that they run, open to any drag entertainer, anyone who wants to do drag. You just have to sign up ahead of time. It's 21 plus to attend, but 18 plus to perform. So like if you want more information about that, my DMs are always open on Instagram or Facebook. You can find me on Instagram at Rory Roulette. It's just my name, and my Facebook is the same.
I love it. I love it. And you really are everywhere. I mean, you're performing all the time. And so if you're ever able to catch Rory perform, it is a treat and a half. Let me tell you, you got some fans shouting you out saying, love you, Rory. You got some people commenting that they're really excited to see you here. And so,
thank you.
And of course, Kiki Lucia just wrote, she's in my show next Friday. So we want to play.
Oh no, I failed at promoting. Next Friday I will be at Partners Cafe for Let's Have a Kiki. The show is villains themed, so that's a super fun theme, and I'm very excited.
You had one job, Rory. You had one job.
I know.
You know, there's so many things happening, I can't keep track.
It's not like you were in drag for like 24 hours straight.
No, not at all.
So, Rory, thanks for being on. Will you stick around for a little game after your performance?
Of course.
All right, my love. And so please, everybody, we have a treat for you. A performance by the one and only Rory Rolay.
In a cloud of mania, taking me up and putting me down. I had a glimpse of Eureka, chilling me up and putting me out. Rejected, I was rejected. I wasn't good enough to be elected. Lava, it was like lava, moving through my body like fire. Rejected, I was rejected. I wasn't good enough to be elected. Watch me take over the spotlight. I will be all the rage tonight. Watch me shimmy into the light. Filled with fury and starry eyed. I will be all the rage. Give my regards to Mary Lou, cheering me up when I was blue. Only the babysitter knew. Nobody else had even a clue, no. Rejected, I was rejected. I wasn't good enough to be elected. Lava, it was like lava, moving through my body like fire. Rejected, I was rejected. I wasn't good enough to be elected. Watch me take over the spotlight. Oh, I will be all the rage tonight. Watch me shimmy into the light. Filled with fury and starry eyed. I will be all the rage. Rejected, I was rejected. I wasn't good enough to be elected. Lava, it was like lava, moving through my body like fire. Rejected, I was rejected. I wasn't good enough to be elected. Watch me take over the spotlight. You can pan to close at any time. I will be all the rage tonight. Watch me shimmy into the light. Filled with fury and starry eyed. I will be all the rage.
No.
It's so good. It was so good. And I love Callista's
Yes.
cameo.
That was the best part. That was the best part. Because how many times, especially filming in the virtual environment nowadays, like, do people just walk past? Do you remember when we were in the park that one day and there was a park ranger that was terrified?
There are stories. We were filming something for a big event. I think it was our coronation. Our
Dorothy Awards.
Yeah, Dorothy Awards. That's right. And we had a park ranger keep driving by, be like, who are these people? Yeah. But no, I love it. And thank you so very much, Rory. Oh my gosh. You know, Rory's a great performer, amazing energy, but Rory's smart too and has a lot of humor, and you can see that in Rory's performances. So thank you so very much. Thank you. And so it is time for a game, darlings. And so we are going to bring back Rory, Tasha, and Mel. Hi. Hello, friends. And so we are going to play a game. My Emperor, I'm going to switch it up from what was on the script, if that's okay with you. So we're going to play a game, and you may have seen this on a show called Hey Queen, but we're switching it up to be more CT Connection specific, if you know what I'm talking about, my darlings. And so we're calling it Kiki Kai Kai Kick to the Curb Girl, okay? So if you're out there and you don't know what Kiki means, it's Kiki Lucia, and she's the world-renowned drag artist. Nope, not at all. Kiki means... I say that to her all the time, and it gives her life. I was like, you're a world-renowned drag artist. So she will be. So Kiki means have fun, chill with your best girlfriends, have a fabulous time. Kai Kai means, something behind closed doors where you're having some adult fun, okay? Yes. And then kick to the curb, well, you know what that means. That means I don't want anything to do with this person. And so one by one, I keep losing my light. Pardon me. There we are. There's some light. Ooh, contour, shadow. Okay, so with that said, my darlings, we're going to start with my darling Emperor. I'm going to give you 3 names, my dear, and you're going to have to choose if you Kiki Kai Kai or kick them to the curb. Got it?
Yes.
Yes. All right, my Emperor, here we go. Okay. Jill Biden, our First Lady. Kiki Lucia. And me. Choose carefully.
Oh goodness. This is difficult because I feel like
You know he did that on purpose. That was just mean.
I guess I am getting kicked to the curb. Yeah, we'll go that way. I'm gonna kick myself to the curb. I'm gonna Kiki with you and Kiki because I feel like we do that all the time during this reign. And if there were probably ever a woman I would kai with, it would either be Jill Biden or Michelle Obama. So there you go.
Okay. Very diplomatic answer. I'm going to ask you in person later, though, and I expect a real okay.
February 20th.
Right, exactly. We're going to go to our amazing Rory. All right, Rory, 3 names. Kiki Kai Kai kick to the curb girl. Mia Easylay. John Pepe. Barbara Streisand.
Love it. What a crew. I don't want to kick any of them to the curb. Do I have to? I guess if I had to kick one to the curb, it would be Barbara because I don't know her personally, but
makes sense.
But also, I don't want to do that.
You should have said
I guess out of process of elimination, we will kick Barbara to the curb. I guess Kiki with John, and if I must, that leaves Mia.
I want to make sure everyone understands. Only if Rory must. Okay.
If I must.
Right. Thank you, Rory. It's good times. Okay, Tasha, my darling, are you ready?
Yes, I am.
I'm gonna give you 3 names. Kiki Kai Kai kick to the curb girl. Okay. All right, let's go. Kamala Harris. So they just come to me. They're not scripted. They just come to me. It's called improv. Oh. Kamala Harris. Halston, the designer Halston. Mel.
Oh, wow. Can I plead the fifth?
Mel's like, please, go ahead.
Can we take Mel off the
all
screen,
3 of them.
please? Producer, can we take Mel off the screen?
Yeah. Say again, Tasha.
Kiki, all 3.
Kiki, all 3. Isn't that wonderful? Right. Everyone's
Especially
happy. Kiki, all 3.
Halston, because I can get a great gown for the Monarch's Ball.
Hello.
Monarch's
Hello.
Ball. We love a good
He'll
plug.
Come back from the grave for you, honey. Yes, he will. All right. And finally, my darling Mel, are you ready?
No.
No.
This is terrifying.
At least they're honest. At least they're honest. Okay. So, Kiki Kakai kick to the curb, girl. Lucy LaDuca. Giganta Smalls. Kyle Edwards.
I mean, I don't want to. I would kiki all those people. I have chatted with all those people.
We're also nice on this
We're
show.
also
Come
nice.
on.
I mean, you pick people we're all already friendly with, and that's what's gonna happen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Rory
All
is the actual only brutal one of the show that actually kicked someone to the curb this episode.
And let me tell you, we've had some guests that are like, I would kick them all to the curb. I mean, they don't care. So what we can say is in this episode, we have really nice people. Yes, we do. And so we want to thank Mel, Rory, and Tasha for their time and attention and love. Thank you so much for making the time today and for what you do. And Mia as well, for what you do for our community. You are more than advocates. You truly, in your own ways, are saviors to people you may not even know. And I say this to my students all the time. When life gets hard, remember that there are people in the world that love you you've not met yet. And you are those people. You are those people. Thank you, my friends, so much. We love you and appreciate you. And for all of your time and your work, and hope to see you soon.
Thank you.
Love you all.
Thank you, everyone. What amazing guest for today.
Amazing guests, amazing guests. No one can rival Connecticut. We're just, we have amazing, amazing community members, and they just keep coming and coming and coming. And they're just wonderful, wonderful people. And so I guess it's time for something, Vu.
Yeah.
All right, baby, you run it. You start it.
All righty. So we did not forget, we have an amazing pair of beautiful earrings and a matching ring from the amazing Rusty Waters that we are going to auction off at a starting bid of $70. So go ahead if you want to make that starting bid. Just type in 70 into the chat and we will see it on our side. And our lovely producer, Patrick Dunn / Kiki Lucia, will post them for us. It's a beautiful orange and green set. It's giving me watermelon vibes. It's giving me iridescent, shiny, definitely a statement piece. They are magnetic back. So no glue on these earrings, honey, and you can wear them on your forehead. You can wear them as epaulets. You can wear them as brooches, and they are also detachable. So if you want a more subtle, subdued look for an evening, little cute button earrings for the night, I mean, what could be better? Or if you're in a pairing, what is really cute to do with these is that your partner can wear the button earrings, and then you can make a brooch for your other counterparts. So you can have matching jewelry sets. You know,
spoken like a true lover of jewelry. So with that said, my darlings, we're starting at $70 because it's a full set, full ring, earrings, and you're really getting two sets of earrings in one, darlings. Remember, net proceeds goes to our beneficiaries. And as my amazing emperor said, these are Rusty Waters originals. Yes, my darlings, touch of elegance. And she has her live auctions on Monday nights, I believe at 8:00 Eastern Standard Time. And I hope that you tune in because she's our sister and we just adore her. Look how clean and beautiful in the back, nice and clean. These earrings are not going anywhere. You have your magnetic backs, and believe me, they do not go anywhere. They are on your ear. No need for glue, darlings. Come on, people. I'll tell you, I know there's birthdays coming up. I mean, Christmas is in a few months. This is a beautiful, beautiful set. Gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous. There's a drag out there that
for a Monarch's Ball coming up in October 16th. So we could definitely bring these to you so you can wear them that evening. I believe they would look fabulous in that gorgeous section. setting at Real Artways. So starting bid of $70, folks. Once again, we are raising money for the American Foundation for Suicide Prevention Connecticut chapter, the New Haven Pride Center, and A Place to Nourish Your Health. And this can help us raise some much needed funds for some great organizations. Starting bid at $70. It's truly a steal. You're really getting like 5 pieces of jewelry because of how customizable these things are.
You really do. And they fit my sausage fingers. So for more you delicate folks out there, let me tell you, this is adjustable. People, let me tell you, I'm telling you, we're only asking for $70 because it's a steal, as my wonderful Empress said. Dottie, I know. Aren't they great, Dottie, my sister? Yes, yes, yes. Come on, people. You know you want these. 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 That's my new single. It's coming out never. Okay, good time. So look at, as Vu said, look at this green. Look at this gorgeous green and that orange. It's perfect for fall, everybody. Look how gorgeous these are. Come on, peeps.
Yeah. And
come on,
that's just a ring light that's hitting those jewelry, folks. When actual professional lighting or when sunlight hits this jewelry, it is going to shine like none other. So $70 starting bid. Definitely bid high and bid up for our amazing beneficiaries, everybody.
Please, please, my darlings. We're just looking for one bid, people. Just one bid. I know, $70. I know it's a tough time for lots of people, but if you are out there, it is so worth it. And we are covering the cost of postage, my darlings. No cost to you. All right, come on now, people. We're going to count down 30 seconds. I'll count down in my head, and my amazing Emperor Vu can keep trying to sell.
Yes, yes. Oh, you keep on counting with it. They would go with my jumpsuit. I mean, they would go with any outfit. They would go with a jumpsuit. They would go with a dress suit. They would go with a gown. And these are the perfect pop of color you need. So even if you have a black simple gown for an evening and you want a simple pop of color, you wear these earrings, you pair it with a nice green or orange shoe, you are good to go, honey. So look how beautiful they are on my Empress, Miss Frank. And they could be beautiful on you for just one bid of $70, folks. That's all we're asking.
That's it. That's it. And you know, I think that Rory might really appreciate someone buying these for her. I really do.
I mean, they would look great on Rory.
They'd look great on Rory. They would look fantastic on Rory.
Also pair well with a tux. Absolutely, Ray Ray. Yep.
Ooh, what about a tux? Yes, my cuz. Yes, cousin.
Convert them into brooches.
Yes, yep. I'm telling you, we're gonna extend this just one more little minute, people. Come on, if you're out there. Net proceeds to beneficiaries, people. We are volunteers. We are here to raise money for beneficiaries. We do this because we love our community, and these are really beautifully made by the one and only Rusty Waters, Jolling Touch of Elegance Designs. Come on,
we always had a secret dream, both Frank and I, to be QVC salespeople, and so now we are living our dream. And so we only have one left in stock, folks. One left in stock. One left in stock. Green and orange. And these are limited edition. They will not be coming back. So definitely a bid that $70 now, and this could be yours.
They will not be coming back because as soon as Kiki Lucia sees these, and if nobody buys them, she's probably going to buy them from me. I'm going to donate the money to the court anyway. So please, everybody, come on. If you're out there, $70, not a lot to ask. Oh God, I think we got to count it down, Vu. Sometimes you just don't sell things. That's okay. 5, 4, 3, 2.
You know, Frank, I think those would be a great silent auction item at our Monarchs Ball.
You know what? I think you're right. And in the end, we are going to sell them for charity anyhow. But thank you all so much out there for enduring our little QVC audition. Because you can bet that we are going to cut that little section out of CT Connection and send it to QVC. Yes. So let us know what you think we should call our show on QVC. And with that said, my darlings, our next CT Connection is Sunday, October 10th at 2 p.m., where we will be highlighting the amazing work of the American Foundation of Suicide Prevention Connecticut chapter, one of our 3 very worthy beneficiaries. So, you know, our producer, Patrick Dunn, said, I'm sorry to tell you, you did not get the job at QVC. Well, better luck next time, folks. We're going to go drink.
It won't be the first rejection, won't be the last.
That's right, my darlings. And so thank you all for joining us today for CT Connection. Thank you to our amazing, amazing guests today. Rory, Tasha, Mel, and Mia. Thank you to Kyle Edwards, my amazing Emperor Vutran.
My amazing Empress, Miss Frank.
Unbelievable. And from now on, you all heard it. If you are a guest on CT Connection, you are expected to bring a dragon with you of some kind. It can be stuffed. It can be a beautiful figurine. To Rory's point, it can even be a tattoo that's on your body. But bring a dragon. And if you're really like us, bring a pair of ruby slippers too. Hey, all right, my darlings. You ready to go, Boo-Boo?
Let's do it.
All right, here we go. So my darling Emperor, who's very, very fit, and exercises, I don't know what that means, is going to do an interpretive dance to me singing, and I apologize, you got to hear my voice one more minute. Here we go. Hey, old friends, what do you say? Old friends, are you okay? Old friends, are we or aren't we unique? Yeah. Time goes by, everything else keeps changing, that's for sure. You and I, we get continued next week. Actually, afterwards, we're talking about
October 10th.
Yeah, most friends fade, or they don't make the grade. New ones are quickly made, and in a pinch, sure they'll do. But us, old friend, what's to discuss? Old friend, here's to us. Who's like us? Damn few. Bye, community.
Bye, everyone.